Okay, the second thing, the dream that I had last night about my mom was I was living in their house. We were all living in their house together, but I was like a fully grown ass adult, right? So I'm living in my original room. I don't know where Alex is staying, to be honest, because that's now Alex's room. And I just like we were having a party or something. We ordered food, and when we ordered the food, it was running late, about like by an hour or something. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I checked the time to see when my plane was going to take off because for whatever reason I was leaving that day. And I think I really don't know where I was going, but I looked at the map and I saw that like sorry, my fingers right there. I saw that like I was going from like here in Arizona all the way up north somewhere over here. I want to say like in not in the United States, probably in Canada, so like really far north. So I had to pack a lot of sweaters and sweater vests and multiple layers because I knew it was going to be cold. And then I when I realized that, and I realized that I needed to be at the airport because my plane was taking off in an hour, then I was like freaking out. And so I took my check on luggage bag, my purple one that I have, and I just started throwing shit in there, right? And I started also taking shit out from the last time I traveled somewhere, which was probably related to the fact that I just came back from LA. And I was just taking stuff out. Like, I don't need these tank tops. I don't need, I don't need this. I don't need that. Taking stuff out that was like sister stuff or stuff that I didn't need because I was going to be in a cold environment. And I'm just freaking out. I'm like, I need to get to the airport in like 10 minutes so that I could actually get on the plane, get through security and get on the plane. And I was freaking out. So, my mom was in the dream and she came into the room, which my room was like a total mess, and was just like, oh my gosh, like, what do you need? Tell me so I could grab stuff for you, so I could pack it for you. And she started throwing stuff in my luggage bag as well, and then started taking stuff out for me also. And then I'm just freaking out, like, oh my god, you need to drive me to the airport like now. And um, it was just I kind of woke up right then in the middle of it. But again, just like the other dream I had, it was just like having somebody there to support you no matter what. I'm realizing and I'm and I'm contemplating and I'm reflecting on the things that I did have with my mom. And something that I did have with my mom was the fact that if I needed her for something, I could just ask or I could tell her, hey, I'm freaking out because I don't have this thing done. And she would support in that way. And that really made me sad because now, moving forward, I'm not going to have her to do that. I go to eat things that she gave me last Hanukkah, which at this point is like 6 months ago, right? 5.5, 6 months ago. She gives me candy or popcorn or whatever, and I'm slowly but surely dwindling down that um, amount of food that she gave me. Um, and I'm just realizing, like, I need to savor this because this is the last time that my mom had ever given me anything for Hanukkah. This is the last time I will be able to enjoy anything that she's given to me. And so I want to make it last. And yeah, it was candy and trail mix and popcorn and shit that I don't normally eat, but at the same time, it's stuff that she gave me to basically say, here, I understand that you're broke all the time. I understand that you're hungry and that this is something that could sustain you, even if it's not something that you eat all the time. Like this will last you, if you're hungry, if you need something. And right now, where I'm at financially, I mean, I just went to LA and I didn't spend like any money. But financially, where I'm at because of everything that I paid for my mom's, kind of service and her obituary and the urns and like all that stuff, a lot of that came out of my pocket, and I appreciate and am thankful that my school was able to give me a donation for my mom's afterlife services. However, it didn't cover everything, and and it's hard to financially come out of that. I mean, who knew that losing a parent could cost you thousands of dollars? You already feel like you've lost so much. Why are you also losing your ability to eat and pay your rent and all of that? That's a whole nother story. But um, that being said, um, I'm in a financial situation right now, and I knew, kind of reflecting on this uh, dream slash kind of what I was just thinking about with the Hanukkah food that my mom gave me, that if I'm ever in a rut, I won't have anybody to bail me out anymore. Because, people that have that person to bail you out, it's either your parents or it's your partner. And I'm not dating anybody, and I don't anticipate dating anybody. And I don't want to rely on somebody like that either. I don't want to be like, hi, we're dating, so now I need your money. Like, that seems wrong in so many ways. I want to be financially independent, but it's so difficult to do so when you are working a basically minimum wage job and you don't have the ability to live with other people or save your money in some other way. Like, I'm paying $7.75, includes everything except internet for my apartment, which is great but not super cheap comparatively. I used to be able to get an apartment for 500, 10 years ago. Um, in the Phoenix area, and I'm going off tangent, so I'm just gonna stop there. But basically, the point is, like, I, if you're a single person, you can't make it anymore. And I know my mom knew that, and I know my mom would support me if I needed it, because I have always been independent. I mean, for the most part, as soon as I was able to, I moved out, got my own job, got my own place, took out student loans, which my mom did co-sign on, so bonus that she doesn't have to deal with that part of collections anymore. But the downside is that, like, I'm just forever in debt, and the person that I would go to if I needed something, not that I asked for money ever, but when she did say, like, oh, do you need money for this or do you need money for that? Like, it was her way of saying, I understand that you're struggling and that I would like to help you. And I took that for granted. I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have, and I didn't let her know how much that meant to me. Um, and so having these dreams has really got me thinking about the future and trying to cope without her, and I'm hoping that these dreams mean that she's watching over me as I move forward, not necessarily knowing how to do these things on my own. I hope that that means that she will guide me somehow wherever she is through the trials and tribulations of life, because I don't know, but I hope that I have at least 40 more years left in me, and if I do, I will have to experience a lot of things that I would not want to experience alone. And not that I'm lonely in that sense, but that I would, want somebody to guide me that has done it before, and my mom just isn't there anymore. And my dad has never really, unfortunately, been much of a parent to us, so I feel like an orphan. I feel like I don't have that anymore, and I need to find it somewhere else. And I think, unfortunately, that means that I need to find out within myself. So, those are my reflections for today. Today is day 77 of my grief, or the day 77, the 77th day after my mom has passed. Saturdays seem to be the hardest because that's the day that she passed. So we'll see moving forward how much easier it gets, or I don't just how much better I get at dealing with it, I guess.